Greetings, this is Lauren with LKR Soap and Such and Lauren KR's Naturals. It's a snowy day in Ohio and a perfect day to make soap. Let's make some activated charcoal soap. I purchased these new set of pour measuring cups and I'm anxious to use them today as I make an activated charcoal soap with lavender essential oil and lemongrass essential oil. I'm going to put in my activated charcoal, which I've mixed with water, and I also have some kaolin clay mixed with water. And then I mixed some kaolin clay and activated charcoal for just a little tiny bit of a lighter gray, which I'm going to put in there. And I'm going to use my new stick blender that I was able to get. This is my new Chefman stick blender that I just really appreciate because it has a low and a high speed, and the low speed doesn't produce a lot of bubbles. So I'm gonna go get my lye solution and let's get started. I'm all goggled up and I have my gloves on and my long sleeves, and this is my lye solution, which is at room temperature, and my oils are at room temperature as well. So we're going to go ahead and send the lye solution down the spatula to try and eliminate some of the bubbles. Begin this process of emulsification because I'm going to separate out my soap mixture into 3 different containers. I'm going to take our stick blender. I'm so excited about using this. It's a nice soft, not very loud stick blender. Just gonna emulsify this. In here. That looks really nice. And then I'm going to separate it out. I'm going to put quite a bit of it in here. And about the same amount in here, a little bit less. And then the rest of it I'm going to put in this 3rd container. So I'm going to stick that down in there because I want to do a type of a tiger stripe for my activated charcoal facial bars. Make sure I get all of this as much as possible out of the container. Okay, now the first one that I'm going to pour is my kaolin clay. Get that mixed together and out of there. Let me move that a little bit. And I'm just going to stir this with my spoon. It's not super duper white, it's just going to be a little lighter than it would in a normal batter. And then the next one will be the gray. I've got less activated charcoal in here, plus some kaolin clay in this, and I'm going to pour that into there. And mix that up. It's still pretty dark. Not sure that there'll be a super duper amount of distinction between the two. We'll see. And then this one, we'll go ahead and put this over here. And this is the bigger amount of activated charcoal. It's going in here. I was always afraid to use activated charcoal when I first began because it becomes airborne when you're working with it, and you have to make sure you're kind of careful about that. So I'm just excited about this tiger type swirl. Start with the darkest of the charcoal. I'm just going to take this along this edge, just a little bit, and we're going to take the grayer along the edge. There's not a whole lot of difference there, is there? And then we're going to take some white and go along the edge. So we're just alternating these just to give it some character. end up with one more white along the edge here. We're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes. All right, now I'd like to do like I put some of the white in there. I did an in the pot swirl with the gray. And I just like to just fill in this space right here with that in the pot swirl. And it looks like it's working fairly well. But then the rest of that is kind of gray. We're going to take this down and pour the rest of it in here. I really like these pour spouts. They are amazing. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if there is any difference in the color of the black and the gray. I'm going to give this black a stir. This is the second batch of activated charcoal facial soap that I've made. And I really didn't do well with the first batch because I let it get too thick. But this one, I think I'm actually going to do better on. So I'm gonna let that sit. Bit of a black swirl in this white. I'm just gonna kind of drizzle it around on the top. And then I'll take a chopstick, not a popsicle stick, a chopstick, and go over that to kind of swirl it up. Found a skewer. So I just want to kind of swirl that, make it look pretty, not put too many swirls in it, and give it some beauty. There's the activated charcoal soap with lemongrass and lavender essential oils in it. So I will wait for about 24 hours and then we'll cut it and I'll show you the cut.